There's many different types of abuse that somebody could experience at any stage in their life. And physical abuse, I suppose, is a physical assault so where you've threatened or you've actually caused harm to a vulnerable person. Anything from slapping, hitting, punching, kicking, to actually physical restraint. So that could be physical restraint to the chair, but equally it could be chemical restraint, which would be using medication to stop somebody moving around to make sure that they get asleep. So the next one that would be the most common type of abuse referred into safeguarding teams and dealt with by safeguarding teams is psychological abuse. And that's also called emotional abuse. It's belittling somebody, using language that's derogatory, making somebody, using your own balance of power to make somebody feel lesser than yourself. You know, telling somebody they're useless, that they're no good, using their disability against them. Another type of abuse that's out there, and it's a difficult one for people to hear, would be sexual abuse. And in terms of sexual abuse can happen person to person, it can happen online, it can happen by exposing somebody to sexual materials who doesn't have the capacity or the understanding to say, I don't want to do this. They might feel frightened, they may feel scared. Another one that's actually more common would be financial abuse. But when you're in a situation where you've lost your ability, maybe you physically can't get to the bank, maybe you're not able to manage bills the way you used to, and you're now dependent on other people, 9 out of 10 people are going to do their best for you and what they think is the right thing. But unfortunately, sometimes even within that, we do the wrong thing around people. We don't manage their money effectively. And what we might do is make decisions that we feel are in their best interest rather than what they would have wanted for themselves. Coercive control is very much a new topic, I suppose. What I would see it is nearly a mix of all the abuses together. So using your voice, using your influence, using your power to exert control over another person. So you might do that through physical abuse. You might do that through emotional abuse. You might do that through financial abuse. Neglect is one of those types of abuse that we see more in older people than younger people. And what I mean by neglect is, you know, their unmet needs. So not having their food at regular intervals throughout the day, not having something to drink, not having their medication collected from the chemist, but equally, you know, keeping them at home so that they don't get to go out, so that they're left at home without friendships, without human contact. In terms of the types of abuses that are out there, what we're seeing as a growing trend is cyber abuse. So when I mean cyber abuse, I mean online abuse, and people have access now to laptops, tablets, their mobile phones, and much more people are online. But equally, there's much more people online who are taking advantage. So the types of abuse you could experience online could be financial abuse, so scam callers, sexual abuse, so receiving unwanted pictures, being coerced into maybe sending an image and that image being circulated around. Also then, I suppose there's emotional abuse, bullying and threatening online, people commenting on their personal appearance, and that goes into discriminating abuse. Could be something to do with your disability, your age, your sexual preference, and people using that to attack you. One thing that is coming down the line is the Assisted Decision Making Act, and I suppose that is legislation to support people around their decision making. So anything from just co-decision making, where you're making the decision yourself, but you have somebody to support you, right up to substitute decision making. If somebody is an immediate risk, they've been experiencing abuse, such as a physical assault or a threat to their safety, they really need to call the Gardaí on 999 or 112 and seek support, immediate support, and there will always be follow-up then from the HSE at that later point, but the emergency situation is the Gardaí at those numbers. Next person you could talk to as well is your GP, your public health nurse, your allied health professional, so like your OT, your physio. If you're in a service, you might talk to your key worker, you might talk to the social worker assigned to you. It might be somebody in the likes of money advice and budgeting service or the bank. We are all connected now in terms of being aware and looking out for concerns of abuse. So at that stage then, you would be linked in with a social worker in your area, the social work team. What we have is a HSE live number, which is 1850 24 1850, and if you felt like you wanted to ring that number outside of your area, they will put you in touch with the person in a confidential manner who can support you with your concern of abuse. There's also websites for people who want to use it. There's www.hse.ie and there's safeguardingireland.org as well, which has a huge amount of useful resources, everything from protecting yourself and planning ahead to equally what to do when you're experiencing a level of abuse.